The straightforward mermaid starts every sentence with, "Look." This comes from being raised in a sea full of hooks. She wants to get points 1, 2, and 3 across, doesn't want to disappear like a river into the ocean. When she is feeling despairing, she goes to eddies at the mouth of the river and tries to comb the water apart with her fingers. The straightforward mermaid has already said to 5 sailors, "Look, I don't think this is going to work," before sinking like a sullen stone. She's supposed to teach rock impersonation to the younger mermaids, but every beach field trip devolves into them trying to find shells to match their tail scales. They really love braiding. "Look," says the straightforward mermaid, "your high ponytails make you look like fountains, not rocks." Sometimes she feels like a third gender, preferring primary colors to pastels, the radio to singing. At least she's all mermaid, never gets tired of swimming, hates the thought of socks. Woman lives in house made of people. They were lonely. I was alone. Out of those 2 sentences, I made myself a home. My house size has 100 heartbeats, dimpled cupboards, and a pink mouth for a mailbox. There's always a tangle of legs in my bed. Oh, the walls have eyes, the baseboards have toes, the decorative molding, rows of noses, twitches and sniffles, and at the end of the sad movie, the tears on my face are not only my own. But now the outside feels all wrong. Trees not breathing, sidewalks unspeckled by a single freckle, and blazing over everything, a faceless sun. I feel like couples therapists would appreciate this poem. On intimacy. When I say we, I mean me in a wide, wide dress.
Which is a book of poems that asked if I was a girl all the time growing up. What would that have been like? What kinds of experiences would I have had? Funereal Stephanie. When they used the winch to put the box with my real best friend's grandfather into the ground, it was like she, but not I, spent a day in an icebox. Like the bodies of all the people, but not the people our age, would end at the school lost and found. I had to fidget, but I had to stand so still that I knew I was used to believing in more than one of me, because suddenly there were none of me. No clowns, no slang, no colors, no knees, no code, not a strand, a pixel, a slice, or a pica's worth of ink, just a blank way to think about how you and she and I and he and everyone taller than us each have one body and no remote control, one body that can slouch or stand up like a sentry for minutes that feel like a century, and about what happens to it if we're lucky after we get old. I thought I could be anything. Like other Americans, I cling to a sense of myself as always ready to learn. I, too, began as the byproduct and glory of an industrial process and can turn by hand or by an inventory of hand tools into candles that do not burn, big heads or faceless figures that tell no story, propellers that cannot spin, a sewing machine that will never make a bedsheet or a skirt, a tank, a blobby armored personnel carrier, or a cannonball machine from an undeclared war where nobody got hurt. I also come in fertilizer green and emergency services orange. You can pull me apart or slice me into discs like nothing in nature. Dead ringers for a miniature gong, inaudible even to my invisible maker. I can do nothing by myself, and therefore nothing wrong. Only half of me is play. When I stay in one shape for too long, my friends say I'm done, and then grown-ups can throw me away.